Oh, wow. Wow. That, little speechless right now. This is the literal definition of subverting expectations. What's up everyone, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John and it's time for a track review on People, the punk-tinged blast from the 1975 that has truly caught me off guard. I know I say that a lot probably in videos like, oh, it caught me off guard, it took me by surprise. This literally took a chokehold on me and just kind of body slammed me in a suplex because what the hell, in a very, very good way. If you asked a casual fan to describe the 1975, most people would probably be like, oh, an alternative and pop band that have some sad songs and some love-oriented ones and some political stuff, but they would never probably use the words like punk rock, screaming, and just other variations of those terms to describe the band. And now, those are actually descriptions and adjectives that would be fitting for their new track, People. People is an in-your-face confrontational song that reminds me of the 90s in a very grandiose way. It's punk-influenced for sure, and I know a lot of people are already commenting about it feeling emo simply because of the way that they look in the music video, which is fantastic to boot. In addition to the song being great, the video is awesome, but just because Matty Healy puts on some makeup, it doesn't make them emo or the song emo at all. They've put together a menacing track with some rocketing, fierce guitars in the background, and some of the loops and the chord progressions, they reminded me of something that I just couldn't put a finger on it. It took me about 5 listens to figure it out. I think they remind me of Wolf Alice just a bit on this track. Their song Giant Peach, which did have kind of a build up to it and then finally blasted off into that big drop filled with guitars, a big galloping feeling there. And the 1975, this entire track is pretty much screamed or else yelled by Matty Healy. And that's something that we've never heard him do, at least not in a studio format before, and definitely not for an entire song. But the guitars matched up with that, the drums that hammer on this track, I'm loving this. It strips away all of the auto-tune and it puts an emphasis on Matty's voice, on the climate that we're living in right now, the generational gap, the climate issues, everything else that we are facing right now, and it does it in a way that's like, hey, listen up, wake up, which he screams 3 times in a row to kick off this song. There's some further crossover evidence to support my theory about this sounding a bit like Wolf Alice, which again is a compliment, I promise, because I love Wolf Alice. They're one of my favorite bands of the 2010s, but Mike Crossey was the mixer for this track. He's worked with the 1975, 21 Pilots, also Wolf Alice, and it makes sense that maybe he dialed up some of the heaviness because Matty Healy is pretty outspoken about his love for that band. The wild, eccentric personality presented to us on this track is absolutely electrifying, and it proves that the 1975 have a lot of talent and diversity. They can pull off other genres, and I would compare this to Give Yourself a Try, which was a weird lead single from their last album, but honestly, that would be doing this track, People, a disservice. I feel that Give Yourself a Try wasn't fantastic. It was very different for them. It was noisier, but this song is noisy on a whole new level. The fact is that the 1975 dropped a flamethrower on us for the lead single from their upcoming album, which makes me extremely curious and excited. It makes me feel like their music is going to be fresh and it's not just going to do what other people expect them to do. I feel that they've grown to the point where they can grow outside of the box that a lot of people put them in, and it excites me because I don't want them to just continue to make the same old 1975, but also I don't want them to turn into some generic washed out version of themselves. And I think that People proves their diversity. The fact that they can pull off something heavier, that the band is tight-knit enough, they don't get enough credit because it's not just Matty Healy, it's the other members as well. It's the bass, it's the drums, it's the guitar on this track, the vocals. Everything is very raw, very confrontational and in your face. And it has me electrified, to be quite honest. Speechless at first, but now electrified and energized. And I truly hope that you guys will give this song a chance. It could definitely clear the room of some of the fans, some of the people who were like, oh, I wanted Somebody Else Part 2, or another Robbers, or even another Give Yourself a Try. This is very different, but definitely give it another try if you didn't like it upon first listen. If you're into the 90s, if you're into punk, if you're into something that just comes across more raw and genuine, then I cannot recommend or praise this song enough. Overall, I'm giving this a very, very strong 4.5 out of 5. I could slap a 5 on it, but I'm going to be cautiously, giving the 4.5 for now because I don't want to put a 5 out there and everyone freaks out because I probably jumped the gun before. But overall, this song is extremely solid. The rating aside, that's not important. This is definitely something that should be on your radar, and I'm excited to see where the band goes from here. What did you guys think of the song? Please let me know in the comments section down below because I'm sure it could be divisive, but as a fan of noise rock, punk rock, everything like that myself, it's very, very exciting to hear. Drop a like on this review if you enjoyed it. It helps out the channel immensely, and subscribe for the love of music. Another 1975 video here, and I'll see you soon for more on Beyond ARTV.